Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Here to do an unboxing for the Essential PH1 or the Essential Phone. PH1 ONE. You know, you see how they did that? You see what I'm saying? The Essential PH1. Okay. A lot of controversy around this device. You know, I have to say that the launch for this device had to be one of the most shadiest launches ever. I know a lot of people were extremely frustrated, considering that this phone was pre-ordered, you know, months ago, when we were all under the impression that it was supposed to have come out, only for it to be delayed countless times. I had actually did a video that I decided not to post because I went real hard on the Essential team and Andy Rubin, and you know, there were a couple other YouTubers that posted their videos up with their experiences with this device, as far as the pre-ordering, the shipping, and all that, and just the non-communication on the behalf of Essential, which I think that communication is key. You know, but you know, I won't get into all that. You know, it was a lot of drama. I finally got the device last night. It was kind of late. I wanted to do the unboxing last night, but I was tired, so here I am. You know, I wanted to make sure that I was fresh and, you know, ready to go to deliver this to you guys. So here's the Essential. Before I crack it out of the box real quick, just to give you guys an understanding of what we're dealing with here in the box, if you don't already know, we've got a 5.7-inch Full HD display, which is 1312 by 2560 pixels. We're running Android 7.1.1 fresh out of the box. We've got 4 gigs of RAM. We've got 128 gigs of storage on board. Now, the storage cannot be expanded. There is no SD card. So, you know, they're giving us 128 gigs, and that's what it is. Now, keep in mind, this phone is called the Essential phone because this is Andy Rubin's idea, Andy Rubin and his team's idea of what the key essentials are that people need in a smartphone, and that's what this is in this particular package. Now, how he, you know, I'm pretty sure obviously they had to do some research, and maybe they've talked to a bunch of different people about what they felt the key essentials were, which is why they concluded, you know, what's in this particular package. Yeah, there's no SD card expansion. You get 128 gigs. Okay, we've got a Snapdragon 835 processor, we've got 504 PPI, and we've got an Adreno GPU of 540. Now, another thing that is emphasized on is the build. Now, this is one of the first phones, or the first phone that is built with titanium and ceramic. So we've got Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front. Around the edges, it's titanium, and on the back, it is ceramic. And so that is supposed to be some of the most extreme, durable materials to really keep a phone protected. Now, I'm not going to recommend that you don't put this phone in a case because it's a beautiful piece of hardware. You know, we've got the bezel-less display, edge to edge, and you guys will see what I'm talking about once I crack it out of the box here. So, without further ado, let's get into that. You know, I got the unboxing knife here. I'm gonna go ahead and get my Michael Myers grip. You guys see this? See that? You see that? Yeah. See me in the reflection? Yeah, recording with the Moto Z2 Play. Yeah. Alright. Let's get into this thing. Make sure my hand is out of the way, because I ain't trying to cut that. Bam. I'm gonna try not to bump the camera, because I know in my last video I straight knocked the camera over and I wasn't trying to do that. Alright, so we'll take a quick peek at the presentation, and you see we've just got a, you know, standard black box picture, or picture of the phone right there. Now, if we look to the right of the phone, you'll see, if I can get the focus here, Essential phone, and this is the Black Moon color, which is the only color that is available at the moment. But we do have pure white. You can get this in Ocean Depths, which that looks pretty solid. That's kind of like a green and gold color. and you can also get it in stellar gray. So to the top of the box here, we've just got the SKU number and IEMI information, UPC, all that information. And to the left, we've just got the little Essential logo. And to the back of the device, we've got Essential PH1, includes the Essential phone, fast charger, USB cable, headphone jack, adapter, and then there's just some information right there. I don't want to strain my eyes to try to read that, but you guys get the idea. So it's giving me a little prompt to peel this down. And here we go. Now this is the Sprint variant. I did get this from the Sprint store. This phone is being sold exclusively at the Sprint store, and I believe it's in stores at all the retail Sprint stores, I believe today, if I'm not mistaken. I pre-ordered this, so I had this on pre-order for a long time, man. So mine finally came in last night. So here we are. Now this is beautifully packaged. This is gorgeously packaged. Wow, look at that. All right, so now here's our device right here. Wow. Now this thing is, like I said, it's a 5.7-inch edge-to-edge bezel-less display. Now this thing has definitely got some weight to it. As I mentioned, it's built with titanium and ceramic, Gorilla Glass 5 on the front. Wow, this feels extremely premium in my hand. Wow. Wow, okay. See the fingerprint reader right there in the back. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set the phone aside. And let's get to everything else. So we've got the power brick here, which does support Quick Charge 3.0. As you guys can see that, 27 watts USB. So I expect the quick charge capability to be lightning quick. Now this phone does not have a headphone jack, and so we've got a Type-C USB to 3.5 millimeter dongle right here. So for all you individuals that like to plug in with wired headphones, this is what you got to use in order to take advantage of that capability, or you'd have to resort to Bluetooth. All right, so I'll file that aside. Now here is our charging adapter cord, which now it's a braided cable. Now this cable feels really good. It's really durable, and you got the same braided cable material for the dongle as well. So these are some really premium stuff here. And you know, I read yesterday that the Essential team is already worth or earned up to over $1 billion before they even shipped out one device. That is crazy. So now we'll go ahead and pull this little thing out, and okay, so here's our SIM ejector tool. You know, so it is a square, which signifies the Essential logo, and here we've just got what we got here. Okay, Essential phone, legal and warranty, and just some quick start information there. So love the way that was packaged up. Very, very premium package. Andy Rubin style. And for those of you that don't know, Andy Rubin is the creator of Android. And so that's why, you know, this particular device is a big deal. You know, when you got the father of Android with his hands in something, then it's a big deal. So it doesn't surprise me that this phone has done the numbers that it has, considering the fact that no phone had been shipped out yet. That is no surprise to me. So, some little plastic on the back here. I'll go ahead and get rid of that. And got some on the front. Now I can imagine this is going to be a fingerprint magnet. Wow, look at that. What a thing of beauty. What a thing of beauty. Now again, here is our 5.7-inch edge-to-edge bezel-less display. Now, another thing that's very interesting about this device, if you've got the selfie camera smack dead in the middle of the phone there, it's kind of like a little widow's peak. Let's go ahead and power the device on. I know they got some juice for us here, so here we go. All right, powered by Android, and apparently Andy Rubin is supposedly working on creating a new operating system as well, but for now he decided to go with Android for this particular package. And so, you know, once he gets more established with you know, this operating system, then maybe later on in the future we will see another option as far as an operating system to go with.
Voice Assistant is a navigation feature for the visually challenged and impaired. To activate Voice Assistant, press and hold the top two buttons on the right side of the device.
Okay, wow. Well, I guess that confirms the quality of this speaker. That was hella loud. And it just came out of nowhere.
Voice Assistant is a navigation feature for the visually challenged and impaired.
Okay.
To activate Voice Assistant, press and hold the top two buttons on the right side of the device.
Okay, yeah, so just gonna hit let's go and configuring service. I think this is just going through the Sprint setup because I haven't cracked the phone out of the box yet. You guys just witnessed that, so I'm sure it's just doing all the SIM card booting and all that stuff. But as you can see, a lot of people were concerned with whether or not the screen would be interfered with because of the selfie camera right there in the front. But what it does for certain applications, it will just be like a black bar up at the top, which okay. And so other applications, it's just going to be just a full screen. You know, you can see the screen at the top and it just goes through the selfie camera, which is pretty slick. And then there's just a little bit of a chin down here on the bottom here. Not much at all. Okay. So this thing is still booting up. It just said that there was an update that had been pushed through. All right, so there it is. So there's a clearer example of how you guys, so this is the selfie camera.
Voice Assistant is a navigation feature for the visually challenged and impaired. To activate Voice Assistant, press and hold the top two buttons on the right side of the device.
Okay, I do not want to activate Voice Assistant. So, yeah, so real quick, I hope that annoying voice doesn't come back on. But you guys get the idea of the screen. And you can see that on the bottom as well. Here's our black button. So with certain applications, it's just gonna, you know, be black at the bottom, and then right beneath the selfie camera, it's just kind of like if you're watching video content, this is how the phone will be. So, you know, the selfie camera right there in the middle is not gonna interfere. It's just gonna be like a black bar, and it just basically camouflages the selfie camera, so you can hold the phone like this if you're watching video content. So that's how that works, and I think that that's a really cool way to do the bezel-less display. Now, moving around to the right of the device, you can see we've got the power and home button right here, volume markers right here. I love the fact that they're all on the same side. We've got an antenna line right there and another one right here. Now, to the top of the device, we have nothing but another antenna line right there, very non-intrusive antenna line. To the left, we have the antenna lines again here, and that's all that we have on the left side. Now on the bottom of the device is where, here is the single bottom firing speaker, here is our Type-C adapter port for quick charge, and now on the bottom here is where our SIM ejector tray is, or our SIM ejection tray is, and this is just a dual nano SIM, or I'm sorry, it's a single nano SIM. There's no dual nano SIMs. No SD card slot for expansion because there's 128 gigs of memory built into the device. Now, moving around to the back of the phone, now this is where things really start to get interesting. I mean, you know, we've got a beautiful display up front, but we've got our dual tone LED flash with laser autofocus and phase detection. We've got a dual 13 megapixel camera. One is just a standard color sensor. The other one is a monochrome, black and white. So the goal is when you snap an image, the two are consolidated to give you a crisper, cleaner photos. Now, according to a lot of heavy hitter reviewers, the camera is suspect. And they said that the camera can be really shaky and inconsistent. Now I have to say that, for one, that's one of the most exciting things that I'm looking to test with this device, is the camera. But the demo models that they had in the Sprint store, when I held up the camera and I took photos, I mean, things look crisp, they look clear. I mean, I'm no professional photographer by any stretch of the imagination, so with me, I can look at something with my naked eye, and if I take a picture with a camera phone and look at the picture and it looks like what I'm seeing in reality, then in my opinion, that's a good photo. And some of the photos that I've seen online that people have posted that people had said were shaky, in my opinion, those were pretty good looking photos. So maybe that's just my ignorance when it comes to photography, or maybe it's just people just, nitpicking and basically stating that there's a bigger issue with the camera than what there really appears to be. I don't know. And it's hard to test a camera, a demo version of a camera that's mounted to the little cord that you can't, take and get pictures of different things in a store. So that's another reason why I wanted to get my hands in this device and just get some real world usage, real world testing, get it out in different environments, test the camera in light conditions, dark conditions, and all that kind of thing, and really determine for myself and hopefully be able to provide for you guys just a true experience of how this camera really functions. Now, my understanding is that there's already been, I think, 3 or 4 different updates for the camera. So obviously, Essential, they know that something's going on with the camera, and they've already, have pushed some updates in to try to rectify the situation or get it much closer to it being a good camera experience versus a bad camera experience. So we'll definitely test that out. Now, we've got a noise canceling microphone right here, and now this phone is also a modular device. So kind of like the Moto lines, how they have a bunch of the little pins right here for their connected mods, the Essential phone just has these 2 little connector pins right here. And so for every modularity accessory that's going to come out for this phone, you're just going to simply connect it to those 2 pins right there, and that's how the information is shared with the accessory, and then you'll be able to utilize whatever the functionality of that accessory may be. So that's pretty cool. Now, the only accessory that we've got thus far is the 360 camera, which hasn't come out yet, but I'm looking to get my hands on that. And I know that they're also coming out with a wireless charging brick of some sort. I've seen pictures of it, but there's no release date for that yet. But that'll be kind of sweet as well. So it's also good to know that this phone is wireless charging compatible. Now, I'm not sure if you can put this phone on like a Samsung wireless charger or anything like that, so that would have to be tested. We do have a rear mounted fingerprint sensor right there, which I will be setting up the fingerprint and checking the accuracy of that. And there's no branding on this device. It's the Essentials. There's no carrier branding. There's no nothing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and set this device up for you guys. We're going to poke around with the software a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and close the video out, and stay tuned for the camera review and the full Pristine review. All right, I'll be right back with you. All right, y'all, it's your man Pristine. So we back in, got the phone set up here, and I just set up the basic stuff. I haven't loaded any of my apps onto the phone, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of just how bare boned this phone is when it comes to apps and bloatware and things of that nature. As I mentioned, on the device itself, I mean, there is zero branding at all whatsoever. This is the Sprint variant, but there is no Sprint logos of any kind. Now, fingerprint sensor, just tap that. It seems to be pretty accurate. It's worked 100% of the time since I've used it, once I set it up, and it was a seamless setup just like it is with any other Android device. Check this out, y'all. This is all the apps that are on the device. You got the My Sprint app right there. Aside from that, everything else is all Google. Okay. Now this page is going to be full, and I have the ability to scroll up and down, once I load all my apps on here that I use. But this is the only thing that comes on the device. Now I believe that with the unlocked version of this phone, all you do is just simply take away that My Sprint app, and this is everything that you get on the device. Everything. Okay. So going back out of that, going back to the home screen. There's nothing else on the phone. I mean, it's just a clean Android experience. And so you swipe to the right, and it brings up Google Now, and you've just got, all your news and updates and things of that nature, depending on, you know, what you got it set to give you updates on through your Google account. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, as I mentioned, you know, as far as this, the software, we've got a Snapdragon 835 processor, 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of onboard storage. This phone's memory cannot be expanded. I mean, so all you get is that 128 gigs, which for me, that's way more than what I need. If this phone was 16 gigs, I'll be good to go, just because I don't do a bunch of downloading. I stream music on Spotify. And you know, I keep all my pictures in Dropbox and Google Photos. You know, so that doesn't really take, you know, much memory. So, I mean, I'd be good to go. But you know, 128 gigs for me, I mean, that's plenty. I mean, for some of you heavy users and heavy downloaders, and you know, storing a lot of content on your devices, I mean, that may be a problem. But you know, if you're anything like me, you know, if you need anywhere between 32 and 64 gigs, I mean, this is gonna serve you just fine, because you'll have the amount of memory you need and some. So real quick, now I want to just, you know, open up a few apps here. That's my Google Maps, you know, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how snappy this phone is. Let's go to Drive. And again, a lot of these apps I haven't even gone into yet, so that's why they're giving the little tutorials and things of that nature. Google Photos, I mean, so there's a lot of photos in here, so I expect it to take a little while to load everything up. But there it is. Now it's just a matter of seconds, and everything, you know, begins to pop up. And these are just a bunch of photos from phones that I've taken pictures with previously. Yeah, let's go to Play Movie. Okay, see, get started. And things just boot right on up. Oh, that new Transformers is available for rent. I'm gonna have to check that out. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, play music. Okay, let's go ahead and allow that. And skip that. Alright, so now we're in Google Play Music. Okay, Play Store. Alright. And the settings. Typical stock Android setup, man. I mean, this is going to look extremely familiar to you, you know. And everything is pretty similar, with the exception of here, you know, we have an essential area under the settings that you can go to, and this is mainly just for usage and diagnostics. And as far as, we do have a few gestures. We've got a couple actually. So jump to camera by hitting the to quickly open the camera, press the power button twice, works from any screen, or lift to check phone. So to quickly check your notifications, just pick up the device. So those are the only two gestures that we've got on board here. Let's see, but everything else is pretty standard Android stuff. I mean, as you can see, we do have Android 7.1.1, and we are running a security patch from September 5th, which is the latest security patch. Go to more here. There is your confirmation that we do have NFC present on this device, and so for all of you that like to trade information just by tapping the phone, or you like to use Android Pay, you have the ability to do that here with the Essential. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much it. Now, before I close the video out, before I close out the video, let's roll to the camera real quick, okay? Because again, I've heard that there's been some controversy surrounding this camera, so I'm just gonna swing around to the selfie cam, and here I am right here, you know, rocking my Seahawk paraphernalia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's the season here, y'all. You know, if y'all don't know, I'm a huge football freak. You know what I'm saying? You know, Seattle, Washington is my home. That's where I reside. I mean, so, you know, I got to rep the Hawks. But, you know, they're my second team. They're my number 2 team, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My first team is the Philadelphia Eagles, you know what I'm saying? So we had a big win last week against the Redskins, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Huskies, but the Huskies are also my second team. My first team, Florida State Seminoles, man. If you cut my skin, I bleed garnet and gold, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, speaking on that, man, my prayers and much love to everybody that's going through it with these storms over in Houston, over in Florida. Man, these conditions are just running rampant and just tearing up people's homes and destroying people's lives, y'all. So keep those folks in prayer, man. And if you guys have anything, if you've been blessed with resources to be able to give and donate to help those folks, please do. And there's several different avenues in which you can take to send resources down to those folks that need it, man. So, you know, my prayers definitely to all you folks in Houston and in the Florida region, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me go ahead and take a quick photo, you know, quick little selfie. Bam. Okay, now that looks solid. You know, now as you can see here, we got auto, mono, and slow motion mode. So those are the only 3 modes that you've got. And let's take a look at that selfie real quick now. I mean, you know, the front-facing camera, again, this is an 8-megapixel shooter. That looks decent. That looks solid. I mean, you know, there's me. Got my Seahawk paraphernalia on, you know what I'm saying? Moto Z2 Play, you know, mounted up on the tripod right there, recording this video. You know what I'm saying? That looks pretty good. All right, now, where the controversy lies, seemingly, is this rear-facing camera. So let's see. We've got camera settings. All we've got is play shutter sound and store location. That's all you got for the settings. Now, a lot of people seem to be, you know, up in arms about that, you know, and there's a bunch of phones out there that have tons of different camera settings. But again, this phone is called the Essential. So Andy Rubin and his team basically blessed us with their rendition of a phone that is just strictly the essentials. And so, you know, everything about this device, from, you know, the lack of bloatware all the way down to the lack of tons of different features and functions in the camera app. You know, we're given the bare essentials. And we do have timer, we have HDR, which we can tweak that to be, you know, either auto or just turn it on or not. We do have HD. Now this camera does record in 4K. Let's see, timer 10 seconds. Yeah, and then this is the flip around to the selfie camera. So let me find something to take a hold on one second, y'all. Okay, so, you know, I just grabbed the thing that was closest to me. Now here's a picture that I just took of my BlackBerry Key 1. You know what I mean? That's a clean looking photo right there, man. And the camera that you're looking at this through does not give this photo justice. Now, I like here on the side right here, your recent photos that were taken, it just pops up right here on the side. So there's the selfie. Here's the Key 1. I like that. That's pretty dope. Okay. And then that takes us, okay, so that just takes us right, this little square right there, that just takes us right to Google Photos. I mean, so we can jump right in Photos, you know, whenever we'd like to. And here are our little icons that we can customize the photos that we take. So, I mean, you know, I'm going to test this camera much more extensively, but from what I can tell, these 2 pictures that I just shot, they look solid to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I am no professional by any stretch of the imagination. But, you know, again, the camera, it looks solid to me. Now, again, this is a relatively small device. I mean, this phone is 185 grams. It's 6.53 ounces. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can see, here's the phone next to my Key 1. Okay? If I can get that in the whole shot. Okay, let me see. Let me adjust the camera real quick. All right. So if you guys can see that, the Key 1 is taller than the device, but the Key 1 has a 4.5 inch display, which is way smaller than the 5.7 inch display that is on the Essential phone right here. So, you're literally getting all screen with the exception of a little bit of a chin down here on the bottom. Now, again, there's a little weight to this phone. On the sides, it's titanium. On the back, it's ceramic. You guys can see this phone is a fingerprint magnet. You can see all the smudges right there. So I think I'm going to go through dbrand and get myself a dbrand backing, to put on the back here, just to cover up all those smudges and also provide some grip, because the phone does feel kind of slippery, you know what I mean? So you definitely want to get a case and a screen protector on this device. So what else can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? I think I've already mentioned that this is Bluetooth 5.0. Oh, the battery. So we've got a non-removable 3040 milliamp hour battery. Okay, now some may raise some eyebrows about that, because we've got a Snapdragon 835 processor, 4 gigs of RAM. Some of you feel as though the 835 isn't really optimized well for good battery life. And again, I just think that's a matter of what you're doing with your device, But again, this device is definitely going to be tested, and so I will come back with some information and some real world usage of the battery, just to see how good this 3040 milliamps stands up to just a regular day of phone usage. So we'll see how it goes. But the good thing is you do have Quick Charge 3.0. We've got a 27 watt power brick that you can charge from, and my understanding is that this phone charges extremely fast, like 70, close to 75% in a 15 or 20 minute time span. So, if you are, running low on battery life, all you got to do is plug in for a little bit and you should be good to go. The charge that you get off of just a short amount of time of charging the device should pretty much get you through, get you through a day or the rest of the day, or pretty much whatever you needed to do at that particular moment. So, but stay tuned for more information on that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Essential Phone by Andy Rubin and the Essential team. Like I said, a lot of controversy swirling around the overall launch of this device, but it is finally here, and I'm anxious to see how it stacks up against a lot of the stiff competition that's coming out. We got the Note 8 dropping tomorrow. We got the V30 getting ready to drop here in a couple of weeks. The Pixel 2, I believe, is coming on October 4th. I know y'all seen that Apple presentation, that iPhone 10 or the iPhone X. Oh man, that's coming November 3rd. Man, that looks pretty dope. So stay tuned, because I plan on having all those devices that I just named on this channel. Not to forget either the Mate 10. That's also going to be coming out, here shortly. So, we got some joints coming, y'all. So y'all keep it locked here. Thanks for tuning in. Much love to all of my subscribers. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. And you already know, definitely stay safe, stay blessed, get spiritually fit with Christ. It's never too late. God's always ready to start over. And you guys keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. The Essential Phone. I'm your man, Pristine. We out. Peace.